Too.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Assumption Effect podcast. I'm Flossie with your lovely co-host, well, my lovely co-host, Nikki. And today we wanted to talk about an interesting topic that kind of keeps coming up a little bit about manifesting with AI as in artificial intelligence. A lot of you guys probably know about Chat GPT, where you can pretty much put in any question on any topic and get a whole variety of answers. Well, Nikki and I have done some experimenting with it. Nikki, obviously, much more in depth than myself, but we want to talk about manifesting with AI, how it might be able to be helpful potentially, and some pitfalls.
Yep. So as you know, I do the Manifest for Me thing. I've been doing that for about 3 or 4 years now. And when I started it, I actually started it with an AI clone of myself as a project where people could input their affirmations. And what would happen is it would go to a URL where people could see the affirmations and the AI would read off the affirmations. You could actually see it in real time. And it would read those affirmations over and over and over again for people for like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think there's some downtime. Regardless, with that AI experiment, I ran it for about a year and a half. And this is just one instance that people use this for. Some people think the AI can manifest for them, not so much. With the experiment, and I did say it was an experiment when I was doing it, there wasn't really any difference in results. However, some people did find it did do a placebo effect because they felt like it was a clone of me that was doing this, and they felt as I was powerful, so was the clone. Now, would that work with regular AI or Chat GPT or some other different app? Maybe. But really, it's not about the AI. And how Manifest for Me works in general is your belief in me is how, we are co-creating together. You still have to put in the work, but when you're doing an artificial intelligence that has no consciousness, it has no pull on reality. Could you say, "Oh, but Nikki, I assume it does." At the end of the day, you probably don't. You can try to assume it does, but I think just it's just a computer, You could type it all day long too, like have an auto typing thing going on. It's not going to do much for you because at the end of the day, it's about changing your mindset and how you perceive things, what you assume, what you think. Now, I don't want to cut you off, Flossie. Side two to this, I have been back and forth with Flossie. She will contest to this. We have been messing with ChatGPT for a couple weeks now to see what kind of manifestation answers it gives us. We will ask it prompts. Hey, talk to me, coach me like Flossie from Your Thoughts Great. Coach me like Sammy Inger. Coach me like Nikki. And AI, how it works is it's pulling info from the internet. It's searching. It's searching for videos. It's searching for blogs. It's searching for data that it can find. It did have tones of Flossie's facts and, her, what would you call it?
It's sayings, like, because at one
Right.
time it said, because I said so, or something like that.
Right. It was using affirmations and things Flossie would say. However, the advice it was giving was not in line with law of assumption because it's really just grasping at straws and it's pulling information from the internet wherever it can. So it's like a mixture of LOA. It's a mixture of spiritual stuff. There's all kinds of things that are incorrect about it.
And that's exactly what I was going to touch on, is I was going to mention how, the other thing that we've been doing with the AI is, asking it questions, manifestation related, just to see what it would say. And the answers, as for someone who is like really new to manifestation, the answers might seem to make sense and they might be like, oh, they're telling me exactly how to manifest my money, my house, my SP. To people that are a little bit farther in their journey, um, it might make some sense. Some things are going to make some sense, some things are not. But when Nikki put in, we were having this thing about manifesting an SP with the Chat GPT, and Nikki put in for it to, reflect in the style of, Flossie from Your Thoughts Create. And it gave a lot of advice that I wouldn't give. It was instructing to do things that I literally flat out tell people not to do. I don't have people really focus on their old story. I don't have people create affirmations that imply that they're not together. I don't have people like continue to affirm things like SP misses me. If it implies that you're not together, I don't have people do that. Why? Because Nikki and I teach from living in the end. We talk about thinking from the end, living in the end, and that means you're thinking as if you have what you want. If you had what you wanted, you wouldn't be affirming SP misses me. And so one of the key elements that Chat GPT is missing is it's just pulling data. It's not actually real intelligence. It doesn't know how to manifest. It doesn't manifest. And so it might be able to pull data from a whole bunch of different places, but from like a manifestation standpoint, when you're using it to try to teach you how to manifest, it's taking out the entire element of like really fully understanding what it is. It's not able to take all this knowledge and understand what it is and put it into practice like, Nikki and I do. I consider Nikki and I to be manifestation experts, literally. The Chat GPT is not an expert. It was giving all sorts of horrid advice that I literally would never tell anybody to do ever.
And I know because I'm technical and I work on the tech side of things with most of my businesses. And it gave us an idea to create our own AI that is in the likeness of us, that we train, that we tell it what to do. We teach it law of assumption from our teachings, from our standpoint. And that's something that we might do in the near future. Obviously, we're going to play with it and stuff. We want to make sure it's actually giving correct answers. But that might be something that you guys can do instead of paying for Chat GPT or whatever it is that you're using right now, and actually get, real coaching or real manifestation buddy in real time in the future. So that is something we're looking at because, of course, AI can be trained. But at the end of the day, it's not going to replace coaching because there's aspects, and we're not saying you need coaching either. But for the people that do like to coach or like to have that external validation or, just guidance, the thing is, it's missing the emotional component. Um, Chat, GPT, AI, all these apps, they're not reading they don't care about your feelings. They don't care what you're going through. It's just giving you data, right? It's not understanding that you went through XYZ situation and you might have some lingering limiting beliefs from this situation. It's just giving you cut and blank points of reference. That's it. When you talk to us, we empathize, we're sympathetic, we tailor it based on you as a person and what you're going through, and not necessarily some cookie cutter thing that you're going to get from online or just some basic ass coach.
Well, the other thing to consider too is that, you know, if people are putting their situations into AI, because I mean, you literally could, put what you're going through into AI. AI doesn't have, you know, I think that Nikki and I both consider ourselves to, have, I don't want to necessarily use the word intuition because I'm not trying to get into anything woo-wee or whatever, but I have always had an ability to pick up on things that people are saying, but what they're not saying. And, I know Nikki's the same way. And whenever we coach with people, like every coaching call or every coaching session is different. We might teach people some of the same things, but as far as what we think of as the holdup, what pops in our head, like those are all different and individualized. And we tailor our coaching session for whatever that client needs. Having said that, again, not trying to push coaching, I'm just trying to illustrate the differences between Chat GPT or using an app like that and talking to any coach, in person or, on the phone or what have you, is that it isn't able to pick up on nuances. It isn't able to pick up on voice inflections or, language specific types of language that are being used, how things are being worded, or, just sometimes when you're talking to somebody, you pick something up. Like a lot of my clients could tell you, like they'll have a coaching call with me and they'll be like, wow, that was eye-opening. I didn't even consider any of that. Or like something random pops in my head and I'll be like, is this part of your problem? And they'll be like, oh my God, yes. And I know Nikki has that too. Why? Because we talk about it. But Chat GPT, can it be cool? Yes. Can it be used for quite a few things? I agree. Could it be used for some manifestation purposes? I think it possibly could, but you would just have to know manifestation, first of all, well enough to know, would this be something that I would actually want to do? Is this more like law of attraction? Is it telling me to do things that really aren't in line with manifesting? Is it telling me things that are, is it suggesting things to me that literally doesn't imply that I have what I want? Because Chat GPT, again, is just grabbing information. It doesn't have the wherewithal to like compute this information and have it in like a human understanding of like, this is how we manifest, this is what we need to do. It's just grabbing information off the internet, and it means it grabs it from everybody. And there's a
Right,
lot of shitty ass coaches out there that are pretty limiting. And some of the stuff that Chat GPT came up with, I'm like, what law of attraction coach was spouting that? Because that, first of all, wasn't even law of assumption in the first place.
right. And I think AI is great in some aspects. It is replacing a lot of jobs. It's replacing a lot of um, things that I don't think are necessary to replace it with because it's not perfect. Even the most perfect AIs I've come across have spelling errors. Shit, some of them are worse than mine. um, but AI can be great, like for image creation, Photoshop, things like that. You know, in my field of work, if I get stuck, and I'm talking about like in my other job, if I get stuck, sometimes I talk to ChatGPT to help me like bounce ideas. And I think it's eye-opening, but I don't take everything it says, seriously. Or it might just spark my curiosity for something else. But mainly I use it for fun or just like to sprout some ideas or something or kind of help me. Flossie's my main gal for that though, most of the time. She probably gets sick of me talking.
Well, I mean, ditto.
Right.
And I think we want to be clear. We're not saying, hey, don't ever use Chat GPT. We're just trying to let you know if you do use it, be mindful that it might be giving you law of attraction advice. It might be giving you affirmations that imply that you're not together with your specific person. It might, even if you say, I want coaching advice in the style of Nikki from, the assumption effect and your thoughts create, etc., it might give you flippity flop that Nikki would never say. So just be mindful that it is a system. It is like a computerized thing. It's not living. It just pulls a bunch of information from multiple different sources and then gives it to you. And some of that advice or suggestions that it's giving to you is really not so good. Not so good.
Right. You guys should definitely join our free Facebook group, The Assumption Effect, because we'll post updates there. But I am playing with an AI for us to either use as a manifestation buddy or something like that that you guys can utilize that is full of the correct data. Um, just throwing it out there. I don't know when it will be done, but be a
I
part
was
of the
trying to
group.
s- I was trying to see real quick if I could read just even as an example, like one of the ridiculous things that it suggested just very, quickly, because I think it was like trying to say, I don't know, some flippity flop, like when we were posing the SP questions, um, just absolutely, oh, it's suggesting saying that, SP misses me more than ever. Well, they were using just a gender. He misses me more than ever. Something inside him just knows he needs to reach out. Does that imply you're together to you? Like saying that, SP knows he needs to reach out. I mean, that to me means that you're not together. It feels, some things you could potentially twist to being, yeah, like this makes some sense to me. And then it says, you know, before it's saying that you place your hand over your heart, breathe in and say these out louder in your head. And then it just has all of these, different things that it tells you to say that are like, um, you know, my man just texted me. He says he's been thinking about me and how to reach out. Okay. Well, I mean that is still that's like a reunion scene that we tell you not to do. That's implying that you're not together. You know, I would just say some of that, not no bueno, no bueno.
Hmm. I mean, it's great for a lot of things, but definitely not for everything. Don't go writing your essays or your reports or using it to cheat on your homework because guess what? It's not right all the time. And there are places that track that now too. But I think it's good for like ideas and like getting advice, like minimal advice. And if you are using it, use it with caution for any topic you're using it for. But what I was saying is join our Facebook group. We'll put updates there. We have a lot of motivation, success stories coming in there, coming in hot. And to let you guys know, if you're listening to this on a streaming service or something like that, on the Assumption Effect YouTube, we finally put memberships up. So we got challenges at $10 a month, $9.99. I think it's $19.99 for the Q&A posts, which you also get the challenge with, and we'll answer your questions there. And then $29.99 if you want that, plus our live group coaching every Wednesday. And we may, in the future, if we get enough people in there, we may add another group coaching day to the week. We're just going to play it by ear. That way, maybe it could be on a Sunday or something like that, and we can target people in other countries. That being said, I think that AI is wonderful. I really do, but use it with caution and just know it's not God. It's not you. It's not going to change your assumptions for you, and it may give you false information.
Right. I mean, you want to take what it says kind of like with a grain of salt. Like Nikki was saying, bounce ideas off of it. You can put in questions and it might give you just like a resource to check out, for example, depending on what topic that you're searching for, it might make a suggestion and you can research that further, but it's not perfect. It's got a lot to be done with it. And, Nikki and I were just flabbergasted. Like we were laughing at some of the things that it was suggesting for people to do that just were just ridiculous. So just putting that out there. And, if you're new to manifesting, we still have the free course on our website, Your Thoughts Create, that you can check out, that talks about manifesting from A to Z. And just try to, you gotta look at your sources where you're getting your information from, because we want you to just get everything that you want and not cause your own unintentional delay. Let's not cause any delays.
Right. Let's just get it now. We love you
Mm.
guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.